Join us today as we talk with Mayor Costi Kutteh as he prepares to bang the gavel one last time.
Welcome to Front and Center, the podcast that pulls back the curtain on government operations, offering you an exclusive glimpse into the inner workings of the city of Statesville.
Welcome back to Front and Center. I'm April Nesbitt.
And I'm Nikayla Griffin.
Nikayla, we have an amazing guest with us today.
We do.
Our favorite.
It is. It's the city's mayor.
Mayor Costi Kutteh.
Yes.
Welcome. We are happy to have you back. It was about this time last year that you were here, I believe.
Yeah. Well, did we know what the plan was then?
No.
We were closing in on the plan. It's been interesting. Several people apparently have called City Hall and said, did Mayor Kutteh win again?
Oh, no. I wonder if those write-ins were you.
And some people are tooting their horns like, good job, and other people saying, you ain't the mayor anymore.
Well, we're going to miss you. So.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to miss all of it. I'm going to try to stay engaged as I can, but stay out of the way, but stay engaged.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be
We would
great.
expect no less.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Exactly right. So 30, how many years on council? 30 years?
36.
36
Wow.
years on council.
Yap Johnson and me started the same day.
Wow.
I told him he's got to go out. He's got to let. He's always kids me that he's been the elected official this much longer than I have because J comes before K. But I said K goes out after J, so we'll even it up on December 1st.
Oh, that's funny.
So 20 years as mayor. Wow. That's what I have to say is wow. And you hold the record in Statesville. You're the longest running mayor. That's amazing that you've done this for 36 years. Oh my goodness, the personalities you've dealt with and the people, the council members, the staff members. We'll get to that, but my goodness, that's all I can say is so many personalities.
So much patience.
Yes, patience. That's exactly right.
Public patience.
Yeah.
Ask Teresa about the.
At the house. Oh, God.
We'll do the behind the scenes on that one. Well, we'll say that the last time I talked to Teresa, whenever you were sworn in as mayor the last time, she told me this would be your last term or you would need a new wife.
Oh. And as I always do, I listen.
Yeah,
listen.
I'm glad you do.
No,
So give me credit for that.
I know you have grandbabies now. You got a lot going on now. You got a lot going on. So let's just jump right in. All right, you ready? You going to answer all these?
I'm going to do my best.
All right, so we're going to
I'm
go
a
through
Boy
a few
Scout.
questions. Before you became mayor, you served on council for 16 years? All right.
At large.
At large.
Yeah,
Wow.
people say, somebody said, more people have voted for you than anybody in the history of Statesville. I said, yeah, but more people have voted against me than anybody in the history of Statesville,
Oh,
too.
no. So why did you even want to get involved in local government? Did something push you to local government, or?
A person sort of pushed me, a guy named Sim Boyd, who was an at-large council member, maybe the first or one of the first, had been a mentor of mine. He had been a adult advisor to an organization I was a part of as a kid. And I jokingly say, I don't know if he was just trying to get out of it and find his replacement. And I don't know if I was his first choice or his 50th choice, but I took the bait and decided in 1989 to run for an at-large council seat. And I remember the first go-around, the wife of the police chief was a candidate. I think there were 5 or 6 people. I should go back. I've got records from all the times, but I didn't look. But I remember, and I think Jim Lawton had been appointed to fill an unexpired term, and that may have been the first time that he ran for a full term. But somewhere in that time, Jim was there, and Jap started then, and Dr. Bentley was the mayor, and I didn't know what the heck I was getting into. I say that in a nice way. I mean, but I would say that the same thing about the people being elected now. You just think it's a logical progression from other service you've done in the community, and you think it is the same. But I tell people all the time, people don't usually have much to criticize you about if you're trying to get food for the hungry folks or provide shelter or clothing or reading books to children. Nobody's critical of that, but they seem to be critical of the kind of decisions that we make in this role. So it's something you have to adapt to, that it's it's a logical extension from being involved in the community because it shows a love and appreciation for the community, but it's not the same kind of progression because you know.
You can't make everyone happy.
Right, and you have to learn that you can't, and you just have to, be responsive to their inquiries and do the best you can, and understand that. There's Steve Hill sent me something from Mayor J.C. Steele, who was the mayor in the early 1900s, and they asked him what it was like being mayor. This was maybe after he'd been mayor for a year or two. He said, well, the first 3 or 4 months it was great. He said, I thought I had the best job in the world, but he said after that I found out I had 12 or 1,500 advisors.
Oh, yes, exactly.
That all had, had their ideas on how we should run the city, and that made it a little bit tough after that. So, so that's, anyway, it's been a good ride.
Well, that's good. So, did you always, I know you said you were on council for 16 years, been at large, but did you ever see yourself being a mayor, or did it just come to you?
Well, actually, the way it happened was, no, I don't think I started and said, someday I'll be mayor. Dr. Bentley was the mayor, and then John Marshall took over. And I guess I'd been on the council 10 years, and John had been mayor for 6, and he was midway through his second term. And I went up to him and said, I think now I've decided I'd like to be mayor if the opportunity presents itself. Kind of what are your plans? And he said, I think this might be it. He said, and if that's it, I said, well, whenever it's it, if you'll let me know when you're back then the print media was more prominent than it was. I said, well, as soon as you let the press know, let me know, and I'll have something out in the next couple of days saying I want to run. So after that term ended, he said, well, I've thought about it some more. I guess I'd like to go one more time. And he ran, and he ran successfully again. And at the end of that term, he said, that's it for me, and that's when I chose to get in there. So kind of waited my turn, I guess you would say. And then by that time I was interested in it and still didn't understand it fully. I mean, I thought I was an engaged council member, but it's I mean, you shouldn't, because we've got good people hired to run the city and take care of the finances and the police department and fire department and all that. But you could spend more than a full time you do in your regular job to be a mayor or be a council member. And I've spent a lot of time, but I've never thought it was necessarily a badge of honor or a source of pride to say, oh, I worked 72 hours for the city last week, because I wasn't supposed to.
Right.
And if you did, either when they were structuring what the pay was for elected officials, they didn't take that into consideration, or either we're way overdoing it, one of the two. So so that was it sort of came upon me over time.
Good.
Did you ever think you'd be here 20 years later, still the mayor, when you got the
I don't
first?
think I even thought about it. I think everybody goes in thinking, well, maybe 1 or 2 terms, and back to the house. And then for some reason, you get into it and you say, well, seems to be going well, or whatever. I never like the saying that there's unfinished business, because there should always be unfinished business, right? You should never say, well, we're good now, I think.
Right.
I think we can all go home. We got it where we want it. So I don't know. I was lucky that my health was good throughout and stayed good, and still is. And as y'all said, grandchildren out there now, that makes a really big difference. And so it's a good time. It's a good time for a transition. I hope you all agree with me that we've got the best city manager in the United States of America.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ron.
Yes.
He does a great job. And so I think the newly elected folks that don't know him that well will find that out soon enough. They're already finding it out. He's engaging with them already before they get involved. Yeah.
So good. So looking back over the time, as both council member and mayor, what's one of the accomplishments that you are really proud of?
Well, I'm just proud of the personal involvement that I've had with so many people and seeing the many good things that they do. I think most people would want you to say, well, this building or that building, and I care about that stuff, and that the I mean, we've done a lot in that area. But I really think what I'm most proud of or most glad to have been in this position to observe is just the hundreds and thousands of people in our community that are doing things that probably beforehand I didn't know, and all of them are contributing to the fiber. Everybody says, "Oh, the people." Well, it is the people, but it's what the people are doing. And man, and y'all see it because of the job that you're in. I mean, it doesn't just blow you away to go someplace
Yes.
and you see some of the same faces, but to see a new group and like the event at Alex Cooper Park where we had the recipients of the service serving the public. Then I mean, that's how we've evolved from us not having to do everything for everybody. And I think if you're a good person and you're a good person and doing a good job, then it just attracts good people and more people and more energy and more enthusiasm about the city. And that's, I hope that's what we've all accomplished together. It's just making everybody feel a little bit better about the place that they've chosen to live at the time.
Yeah. It's awesome.
How do you feel council has evolved over the 36 years? I mean, do you see a big difference from then to now? I mean, or do you think all councils have just basically been doing the job well? I mean,
well, everyone's different, and just depending on who can build the bigger coalition, I guess. At different times, things have gone one way or the other, and I recall earlier, I don't think it was right off the bat, but somewhere along the way, it seemed like I was breaking 4 or 5 ties every night. I jokingly say, I think there was one meeting where I had to break a tie to adjourn the meeting.
oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
So you don't want that, and I still believe this. While I want there to be all the responsible conversation there can be on any topic, I don't think it's necessarily the best decision when the mayor has to break the tie. I mean, I think there should be a clear majority that wants to go one way or the other, because the stuff that we're talking about is pretty important stuff.
Right.
And if it seems to be 50-50, then I don't know that those are the kind of decisions that we want to be making. But when
in 2 years, another council could come in and just reverse it.
Could do that, try to do that,
yeah,
and some have done that. So
true.
So it's tough. But I mean, and for the most part, I mean, there have been some who turned out better than anticipated, and some that maybe didn't work as hard as I had thought they might, given their backgrounds. But
You want to give us some names? No, I'm just kidding.
for the most part, it's kind of like jury duty. You don't necessarily want to do it, but once you get into it and you take it seriously, and whatever time it takes, and I think I would say that. I've been. I mean, the evolution of the council in terms of gender and race and all that is fascinating and interesting, and I think is a good example of how our community has evolved.
Absolutely.
So, that we're there, and that complexion is going to change again this time, and I think that's good, and that's something we can be proud of as well. That's just good. As a community, not so much the Statesville City Council, but just the people that we're willing to accept as part of us continues to evolve, and that's very important to me.
Yeah, that's good. So I know the mayor's seat comes with a lot of challenges and changes throughout the year with city managers and new councils and stuff. How did you maintain relationships and keep a steady leadership?
Good Lord.
Well, it's been through a lot because Rob Heitz was the manager when I became mayor, and he was all manager. I mean, he was that was his life. I mean, was the management techniques. And then when he left, we hired our public works director to be a manager, and he didn't have the management training. He had maybe the personnel kind of training, so that was different. And I told somebody, I said, it's sometimes like if you go to church and the preacher leaves, you say, well, he wasn't very strong in this, so we're going to make sure that this person is a good visitor or a good preacher or whatever, and you overlook some of the other things. But in Ron, we hit the mother lode in in my opinion. And we just got a guy who understands people, understands management, understands hard work is necessary from time to time, understands he's got to get along with all of the folks. And really, I think the management team runs the show more than the mayor does by a long shot. And certainly he has as much influence over the council. And Ron does such a wonderful job with that, and his manager reports, and the last time I guess he'd done on his own. He just was thinking, gosh, I wonder how many new housing starts there have been in the city, and started. I know he got help from within, but it was his idea, and let's put that all together, and boom, you put out the number, and $85 million worth of new development just inside infill.
Yeah.
Is just.
And nobody would have thought of that.
Wouldn't have thought to do
Right.
We
that
see
at
the
all.
houses popping up.
And back in COVID, and I talk about this a lot, when we needed an inventory of our housing stock, and John Stafford had worked so hard for us to look into that, and then COVID hit. I think my recollection is that we were going to spend $800,000 doing an inventory, and he said rather than send our folks home, let's let them do the inventory. And I still believe we've got as solid an inventory of our housing product as anywhere else. So that's
good.
That's the genius of an excellent manager. And so sometimes we just sit back and take credit for his good work and the good work of all of the staff. And I think a good leader encourages his lieutenants to do better. And if they do better, it makes him look better. And I think that's y'all are two perfect examples of that. If y'all both do a heck of a job for the city.
Thank you.
And I think that reflects well on me, and it reflects well on him. And so nice, big, happy family.
We are.
Well, Statesville as a community has faced challenges, and I was going to ask you, what a moment when you really felt the weight of leadership, but also saw the city come together. And the biggest thing that came to my mind while I've been here was Amaya Howell.
Oh, no question.
Amaya Howell.
When I read that
and
question,
it gives me cold chills every time.
When I read that question, I first said, oh my gosh, that's a hard one. Then I thought, oh no, that's not hard at all. That's Amaya.
Yes.
Heartbreaking loss.
Yes.
I didn't know her.
I didn't either.
Most of us didn't know her, but the public knew her. And the public stepped up, and the public, you want there to be transformational events that changes forever. And I guess I've realized there's really no such thing, but you hope that an event like that transformed us a little bit.
Yes.
And maybe changed our individual trajectories a little bit so that we think differently about that kind of situation. I mean, and we always say, what if that had been my kid?
Right.
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
grandkid? But then after about a week,
Yeah.
stuff goes on,
Right.
life goes on, and we forget about it. But I think people were really moved and motivated for a long time, and even now, wow! When you mentioned that, I said, I'm so glad that April thought the same way I did.
That's what I think of. Yes, it was a horrible thing, but the community came together. So much. It was amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I was there, and just to see people from every walk of life on streets that people are sometimes scared to walk on.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. I was like, oh my God, you're here.
Yeah,
So it was good, and I think the family needed that too. So I thank God that we just came together and this was a family.
Yes, and you also see the imperfections in family.
Yes.
Too. So
absolutely.
that's part of it too. Not everybody. Not everybody's perfect in the response. Not everybody, but we're doing the best we can. And if it's all focused for the right reason, then there's no question that's number one.
Yeah.
And yet, having said that, the disappointment is. Well, it's not a disappointment. Like I said, I hope that our hearts and our minds are all, incrementally different and better than they were before that.
Right.
And that we still, I know the police do it, the fire department does it, you do it. We're trying to find ways to avoid that kind of thing from happening
Absolutely.
again. And if it doesn't happen again, if 20 years from now people say, who was Amaya Howell? Then we've accomplished a good result. We've gone beyond that. We've made our city one that doesn't allow that to happen, and but no question that, and that's. I know she was 8 years old. How long ago was that, April? Was that
like 4 or 5
years.
4 or 5 years ago.
At least then.
Yeah.
I was trying to put it in terms of COVID. I can't remember if it was during COVID or
think it was a little after.
After COVID.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So you did a lot of ribbon cuttings and been to millions and millions of meetings and cookouts and had to smile and be at all these community events, and we definitely appreciate you. But is there anything funny or unexpected that has ever happened while you were there that made you laugh, or when you got in the car you had to laugh?
Well, if I'm there, it's always kind of funny. Something humorous happens. I have to think about that. Well, I do think about one. This is totally. I probably shouldn't even tell this, but it's kind of cute. I went to a lot of pre-COVID. After COVID, it really changed for me and a lot of people. But I volunteered in a classroom at NB Mills, kindergarten class, for probably 30-some years. I mean, probably started when my kids were there and kept on going. And so I was invited to speak to a lot of schools, and they'll give you a T-shirt and a ruler and a pencil. And one time I was given a Subway gift card, and I was all excited about that. I said, well, I don't go to Subway much, but I think I'll go tomorrow. And a person on the staff said, you're not supposed to accept that. That's sort of like that's sort of like So I said, well, man, is it that big of a deal? It's not like I, paved their parking lot for a Subway card or something. So anyway, but the person was insistent that I shouldn't use it, and I was insistent that I should.
You're supposed to get it.
So I even invited this person to go with me to Subway. But so anyway, I go to the Subway the next day, and I proudly present my card, and they say, "Excuse me, sir, but there's no money in it."
She tried to save you.
So I figure
It was divine intervention.
the last laugh went to the person who had said I shouldn't use the card.
Wow, that's funny.
But it's there are a lot of good experiences, and that goes back to the first comment I made, which is about getting to know people and getting to interact with folks and all that. So anyway, it was great.
Well, that's awesome. So what's something you'll miss about being mayor? I know other than April and I. And something that you definitely won't miss.
Well, that I definitely won't miss?
Get straight to it.
Well, I don't know about, I don't know. I will miss, we've already talked about the, ribbon cuttings and all that. But I'll miss interacting with the big shots that come to town and want to locate a business here. Because I think historically maybe they come to a place like Statesville and they don't think they'll have the kind of manager and mayor and council that we have. I mean, people that know how to, they've been around the block on those kind of topics. And we've evolved into that. I mean, there was definitely a time during my tenure on the council where the city didn't feel as optimistic about itself or as proud of itself, and that has evolved, and we probably
pushed that.
Well,
you really pushed that.
Well,
the city should be proud of itself, and that's what you've told me since I took this job. The city should be proud of itself, and you really pushed me with that.
Well, I appreciate that, but a lot of it is that we have it's our turn also. I mean, the growth, the Charlotte growth has finally hit us, and I'm glad for that. And in a way, we won't be 100% ready, but we're way better prepared because we had time to prepare than some of our sister cities to the south.
Yeah.
And I tell people, and I think I'm right. I was told years ago that it would be 10 miles concentric circles, and we're in the 40-mile concentric circle. And I say this a lot. I don't think there's any other place that you would rather live that's in the 40-mile radius of Charlotte than Statesville. Right. Nowhere. And so we got a lot going for us.
We do.
And that's going to continue. And I'm confident that it is kind of scary. Scary? I don't know about scary, but it's going to be different. First time that so many people are going to be leaving the council when they weren't forced off, or I mean, they had their own different reasons for wanting to do that. So it's going to really be a change. It's not like, hey, we want all of you out because you didn't do this or that. And so that's going to be that'll be interesting for me to watch from the sidelines as to how that works. The most difficult thing is to not be leaving my law office every day and heading towards or heading towards City Hall and say, "Well, buddy, you're not welcome down here anymore."
Oh, no.
I mean, I know I'm
Always be
welcome, but I mean,
Right, absolutely, you are.
but not to go plop up in Emily's office or April's office or Ron's office and chew the fat for a while. They got stuff to do, like we talked about before. But anyway, the whole thing has been great. I mean, there's some people that don't think the ribbon cuttings and grand openings and all that are valuable.
That means so much to those people that you're there.
It really
Yeah.
does. It really does.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yes.
I've been told stories about people of all walks of life who have the picture of us attending those as an important thing. And again, I think that's part of. I think feeling better about. I said this before. Feeling better about the place we live at the time. I'm not saying everybody's going to stay in Statesville forever.
Right.
But man, there sure seem to be a lot of people who visit Statesville or live in Statesville for a while and have an opportunity to come back later, and they want to do that, particularly on the social side. So many people said, "I've never been to Statesville before, but I'm coming back." And I tell a great story about I like a lot of the downtown restaurants, but this one particular restaurant that I like. An old high school friend of mine, a little bit younger than me, has property here and comes to Statesville from time to time. I don't see him that frequently, but several years ago I saw him, and it was about time that people might be having supper. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm going down to," he lived Davidson or Cornelius or somewhere. "I'm going to such and such to have supper." And I said, "Well, have you tried, this place right here?" He said, "No, I never have." And so I said, "Well, I encourage you to try it. It's really good." So he went there, and I didn't see him or hear from him for a while. And that makes me nervous because I hate to give people recommendations and the recommendation not work out,
Right.
because then I think it's a reflection on me and they think I'm stupid and I don't know anything about
Or your
this.
taste buds aren't good.
Yeah. So anyway, about 2 months later, I saw him, and we were just chatting. And I was not going to bring up the topic of the restaurant because I was afraid he'd say, "That's the worst meal I've ever had, and why did you tell me about that? And I don't want to run into you ever again." He said, "You're not going to ask me about the restaurant?" I said, "Well, I was kind of scared to." He said, "I've been back 9 times."
Oh
Wow.
my goodness! Oh my
That's
goodness, that's
awesome.
awesome.
So just stuff like that, which
That's
is neat.
awesome.
So if they
So you restaurateurs,
Yes, right.
even though I'm not coming to your place every day, you know that I'm referring people to your restaurants every day.
Wow.
Yeah,
and if
it's great.
anybody sees the mayor on the road on the sidewalk, ask him the best place to go eat.
Yeah.
That's right.
Give some recommendations. All right, December 1st is almost here. We are closing in. What kind of emotions are you feeling? This is 36 years of your life. You've been up there every other Monday or 2 times a month. So for meetings every day in the building. How you feeling?
Well, mixed emotions. I don't know really what that means. I'm going to miss the heck out of it. I'm not going to miss the rancor during the campaign period. I'm going to strive and maybe even say that I hope that we'll do everything in our power to keep our elections nonpartisan, because I know people have partisan feelings at the state and national level. But I tell you, ladies, never in 36 years, and I think you can ask anybody who's anywhere on the political spectrum, there is not one time that we've looked at each other and said, "If you weren't so much of a this or a that, we could get something done."
Yeah, I agree with
And that
that.
is so important.
Right.
And I will do everything I can to maintain that appearance. And I know there's pressure on some people to behave the way a particular political party would like for them to believe. But just at the local level, the decisions that we're asked to make
Yeah.
really don't involve that. And I guess a disappointment is that more and more citizens don't realize that and don't realize the importance of voting for the people at the local level.
Yes.
Because, and I mean this with total humility, the things that affect most people on a daily basis are much more easily and likely to be resolved
Yes.
by the people like me that are in an elected office than calling anybody at any level higher than that. So just the things that people face every day and are more concerned about. I mean, even affordability of housing. I mean, we're going to have to I mean, the whole world's going to have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen one municipality at a time.
Yeah.
And heaven forbid other things like garbage pickup or police protection or fire protection, sidewalks, recreational facilities. I mean, it's not going to be somebody at the national level that builds new ball fields or tennis courts or pickleball courts. So it's always the elected officials. So it all starts local. It all belongs here. I'll miss leading the meetings. I won't miss the few occasions when I think there's been rude or excessive behavior. I don't think there's any place for that. I've told all of them that I've dealt with, all of them, particularly the most vocal people, I said, if you'll stay respectful toward the audience and toward your, the team up here, then I'll give you a lot of leeway to speak and let us know about your life. I think it's important for us to learn. It's important for me to know your life and how it differs from mine. And it's because as hard as I try to understand that and feel that and be responsive to that, if you tell me the real story, this is what I faced last month. You may have faced it too, Costi, but this is what I faced last month. Then it helps make me better and makes me a better leader.
Right.
And I will say that the 9 people that sit, the 9 people plus the manager that sit at that dais every 2 weeks, as you said, April, should have a better understanding of every topic that comes before them than anybody else.
Right.
So that when you hear this side and that side and this side and this side, then you can consolidate it. I think one of the council members said it best recently. If you haven't read the stuff, you're not prepared. If you've reached a conclusion before you come here, you're not doing your job. But you can have a tentative conclusion that's subject to change if you hear other information.
That's good.
But if you've read it and studied it and listened to everybody in the community and you've reached a conclusion, but then somebody comes up and says something, I hadn't thought about that, and that changes my mind, then that's the way the decision should be made.
That's good. So you've earned a well-deserved break. What are you going to do when you step down? Are you going to travel? Any big projects? Are you going to plant a big tree in your...
What is Teresa's to do?
That's what I was about to
Well-
say. What is Teresa going to make you do?
Well, there'll be some honeydews, but and I don't mind that. But she says I'm not proactive. I mean, like I'll work in the yard or I'll do this and I'll do that, but I won't necessarily do something inside that needs to be done. But if she tells me to do it, I'll do it. I think she would agree with that. But what she says is you got to find your own, home improvement projects on your own without me telling you about that.
Oh, wow.
And
is funny.
Everybody says this. I want to spend more time with the family. Definitely the grandchildren.
Right.
And we're going to travel, but we're trying to go to Costa Rica in the winter, which is, I guess, on us now. We hadn't been able to pull the trigger on which trip. So the plan is to travel some. One of my really good friends said, you don't have to find your passion will find you. So I said, well, it won't find me if I'm sitting around watching Gunsmoke reruns. So I guess I got to get out there and do something.
Well, now you can travel and you don't have to say, oh, wait, I got to have a council meeting that night or we have a budget retreat.
And Doug's already run into that. For the last 36 years, you can't go this weekend because there's a council meeting on Monday. We've got to go next weekend. And that has gummed up a lot of stuff through the years. I mean, I tell people when you put your hand on your Bible and say, I will to the best of my ability, that means this has got to become a priority. And I tell people, is it expected that over the course of a year or 4 years or 36 years, you'll be there every time? Unless you're Jap, the answer is no.
Since I've been here, I think you've only been out one time, and that's when your grandbaby was born on Valentine's Day.
Well,
or around that time. That was a budget meeting.
As a budget meeting, not a regular. The only regular meeting I remember missing was one of these trip things. We were on a you would call it a guided tour type deal. We were supposed to leave on Tuesday. I think we had orchestrated it so we could leave on Tuesday morning. We got a call on Monday and said, the Tuesday flight's canceled. You can either go this afternoon, Monday. Oh, wow. Or Friday, and there's no refund.
Oh, okay.
And there's no extension. So we said, well, shoot, so I just had to
do what you had to do.
phone a friend,
Yeah.
Phone a friend.
But I mean, I think that should be the goal of a mayor, is to never have to rely on the mayor pro tem to do his or her job, and that's what I've tried to do, and I've been lucky. Did I miss one when I broke my leg? I might have missed one.
Yeah,
then.
you may have missed one then. Yeah, that was
But
a tough time.
That was stupidity. But there were council people that reached out to me. I mean, I remember a couple of them that helped me, and thank goodness we've got that. Yeah, we've got the flat dais now. You don't have to.
Right.
So we did that because we had some council members that had trouble going up steps. But yeah, but anyway, the goal is to do the best you can, but not to let the city council meetings and the city council commitments be an afterthought.
Good,
Yeah.
good. So this is our final question. And, I got little tears
Does
in
this
my
come
eyes.
with a check?
Oh, no.
Gift
I
card-
know it's going to come with a Walmart gift card that's empty.
Yeah.
I promise you. You can go in there and get whatever you want.
You can put it in your cart. But
Yeah.
if you want to
Got
leave with it,
17
you might want to get some
cents.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could leave the new mayor a nugget or some piece of advice, what would you tell him?
Oh, I had that. Darn. I had it in my mind what I was going to tell him. Well, one thing is definitely always be in the present. Oh, and the second thing is, I guess this is sort of a nugget, and this is going to sound silly, but you need to go to events, but you don't necessarily need to be there from start to finish.
Absolutely.
And I learned that honestly one time when somebody wanted me to come to a meeting, and the meeting was going to be like 3 or 4 hours, and I said, April, I'd love to come, but I got about 40, and I've only got 45 minutes. I said that'll be fine. So we worked around it. So I thought, well, you can always work around what the group needs and what you need to make it a success. And I think that's the only way you'll keep your sanity, is if you. Well, you have to spread yourself thin. You can't concentrate on one 4-hour meeting and then miss 2 or 3 other things that happened that day. So I think just kind of time management and prioritizing the work of the city. And that you've got family obligations and you've got church and you've got other things, but this has to be in that list of things that create priority. You can't just say, "Oh gosh, I forgot we got a city council meeting next Monday. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to the football game." Or whatever. So, but yeah, that is just simple things like that. Be present, be available. Do what you can, and that will help to push things forward as much as knowing how to shake hands with the billionaire.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's all important, and it all makes us a better place. And I'm sure the new team will do just fine, because we have a good, as we've talked about, the manager and a senior management team, I call it, in place if we can just keep them here, we'll be in great shape.
Absolutely.
And if you have problems, the ABC store is two places down. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you mean to go there and there'll be a purchaser? Or I might.
Gift cards to the ABC store.
They might.
I thought you meant part-time employment.
Oh, no, I meant for the mayor.
I don't. Boy,
I'm
I tell you
just
what,
kidding.
if their survival was based on how many times I've been in there, it'd be terrible. All those organizations that get all the money from, they'd be struggling based on my purchases.
Well, we can't thank you enough. Your heart, you have touched this community. Everybody in this community has probably at some point been touched by you, because you're everywhere. And I don't know what this is going to be like, Nikayla.
Yeah.
With the mayor not being at every single event.
Right. He actually got on council because I was born in 1989.
Wow. That's what it was.
So it
he
was
knew
for me.
that you were going to be
Yeah.
here.
So
Well, that's how bad it was. Well, you know Maggie very well.
Yes,
my daughter.
we grew up together.
She was born in '89.
Yeah.
And that probably shows how I don't know, disrespectful I was. Maggie was probably 2 months old when I guess Teresa and I decided it would be a good thing for me to run. But she was 2 months old, and she had 2 sisters that weren't all that much older than she was. I said, I will see y'all in 36 years.
Wow.
Well, we appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we can't thank you
And I mean, it is flattering that like people your age sort of
Grew up.
You're the only mayor I know.
for real.
Wait a minute. He said your age. You point at me.
Well, yeah. You were younger. You were too young.
Yeah.
But no, we really thank you for shaping this community, helping us grow, and we know that all the work that you did will continue, and we know that your legacy will continue on because we thank you for being Costi Kutteh, our mayor.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
You're
and
welcome.
I love both of you and the work that you do. And
we love you too.
I hope that. I just think it ain't all peaches and cream as we know,
Right.
but it can be as much peaches and cream as we'll allow it to be sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I hope we'll continue to do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time.
Tune in to the next episode as we share our dedication to transparency, public service, and governance, shining a spotlight on our commitment to keeping you well informed about all things City of Statesville.